Hello guys, we're going to try this again. You know, I always find that I should write down what I plan on saying when I start a video out, but it never ever comes out the way I'll think about it a little bit before I turn the camera on, and I guess that's part of getting used to doing this, but it always takes me 5, 6, 7 times to get it right. Now the sun's going down, it's going to be dark soon, but it is the perfect time of night to do this. It is dead calm. The only issue I have is that one damn cow bellering at me. Do you guys like steak? I love steak. I think that cow is going to get turned into steak because steak is tasty. So anyhow, it's funny, I come outside, I'm like a celebrity with the cows. They just beller at me and beller at me. So anyhow, it's Friday night. It's absolutely gorgeous out. We're supposed to have a weekend of rain, so I'm going to try to get a little bit done here to show you folks some more of the process. Anyhow, I've got a stack of wall posts here, and I've got to lay this thing out. So it's going to be a couple video process to cutting a wall post. So I apologize, guys, but it's going to take me a couple. I won't be able to do it all tonight and be able to get good shots with the camera. So we're going to start with some of the layout principles of any of your beams. This doesn't just go for wall posts. This goes for tie beams. This goes for your top plates. It goes for all of it. It goes for rafters. Whatever you're laying out, this goes with it. So I didn't show it very well doing the floor joist because I really couldn't explain it well with the wind. So, but anyhow, I've already picked what side I'm going to use here to lay things out from. So, but I'm going to show you guys how I go through that process. Now, when I mill my logs up, when I'm going to cut my beams, I take a lot of time to make sure they're square. I mean, I'll do my first initial cut the slab off the top to take the cap off of the log. That's what you usually call your first cut there. At least that's what I call it. So when I go to cut the cap off the log, that's the side that I'm going to use to square up the rest of that beam when it's on the sawmill. So what I end up doing, I'll turn the log over 90 degrees. I'll use the handy dandy framing square. Learn how to use it. It's your best friend. I always square up that next cut up to the band blade on it. Now, if you set your sawmill up right, it's usually pretty close. But for what I'm doing, I don't want pretty close. I want this. This is like the initial step to making sure that you do a good tight joinery. Freaking cows! They're the bane of my existence. I can't get away from them. They see me out here, they go nuts. Distracting as hell. I'm telling you, hamburger. They have hay, they have water. It's like they want companionship while I'm out here. They're twisted, man. So I think they just want to get me alone in the pasture so they can take advantage of me and maybe hurt me. I don't know. So, well, we got a visitor. Oh boy. What would you like? Nothing?
Yeah.
You thinking you just want to get in on the video? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah? Are you sure? Your brother almost got beat over the video.
I don't care.
You don't care. What do you think, folks? Should we bring in the Master of Disaster? She likes the Cubs, you know. That's her aunt's favorite team, always has been. So she's sporting a Cubs hat, and it's a little chilly out here to be in shorts and a t-shirt, kid.
I'm not cold at all.
You're not cold at all? All right. Introduce yourself. Okay. So, who are you?
Emma.
Emma, huh? How are you related to me?
I'm your daughter.
You are? Why would you do that? Because you want to show off Daddy's gray hair. I have premature gray hair if you haven't noticed. What are we doing out here tonight, Emma?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't.
You know you interrupted me.
That's spying on you.
Spying on me. So, this is the master disaster. She is very entertaining, a lot of fun. If I could tie her to a tree, I'd probably do it because she's nuts. Of course, her mother's very calm. My wife is a very calm person, but this one, she must take after me or something because she is friggin' nuts. Can I do my video?
Yeah.
Yeah? You just want to get a little FaceTime, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. All right, guys. So, what I was saying before we were interrupted by the master disaster here, you need some warmer clothes on, kid.
I'm not cold.
You're not cold. They're never cold, are they? Anyhow, when I'm milling my logs, I take a lot of time to make this square. It helps me further down the road, so if you guys are milling your own, and probably a lot of you are, make sure they're good and square, okay? If you take that extra time, I don't care, like I said, if you have a wood miser, if you have a Norwood, Hudson, I have a Hudson, doesn't matter what you have. Jeez, what is it, traffic night tonight? Doesn't matter what kind of sawmill you have, make sure you square up that second cut. Once you get that second cut square, the other two sides will follow just fine, but really take your time to do that because it makes it so much easier when you're laying out your joinery and everything down the road. You always, whenever you build anything, I don't care if you're building an outhouse, a shoebox, I don't care what it is you're building, always think of the next step because it's like when you're framing your house. If you put your studs in, when your studs are out of flush with your top plates, it's going to throw your drywall off, right? So you always think of that next step, and it's no different with timber framing. So when you're about ready to lay out your joinery on these, you're looking for your reference face, your adjacent face, and your aerys. So we're going to explain what those are. Reference face, what I look for is the best side of the beam, the absolute best side, your nicest side. That's what I do anyway. I'm sure. I have to use this, you know.
Give it.
So anyhow, you're looking for your best side, and I've picked it on this one. I picked this side right here. All right. So that's your best side.
Yeah.
When you go from there, you're going to look for your adjacent face, right? So whatever side is good and square to your reference face, that's going to be your adjacent face. So that's good and square. That's beautiful right there. This beam's real square, so it's not, but that's because I took the time to make it so. Anyhow, do you guys know how hard this is to do with a midget that doesn't pay rent? Standing over your shoulder, stealing your tools, throwing your hat. You go get my hat? I would appreciate it. Everybody's going to know I have gray hair, and they're going to think I'm old. Thanks a lot, Emma.
He's only 35.
Only 35. They don't pay rent. I can't get rid of them. I've tried giving them away.
No, you haven't.
Come on, Emma. I'm trying to look tough. So, anyhow. Thank you. So, anyhow. Again, getting derailed by the yahoos. You know, she saw her little brother in one, so she figured I have to do this too.
My big brother.
I knew that.
You said little brother.
Don't correct me on camera. You better sleep with one eye open too, kid. Not the case. So I have my reference face and my. Okay, stop. I have my reference face. And I pick my adjacent face. That's the side of the beam that is good and square to the reference face. Where that adjacent face and that reference face meets, that's called your aerys. That is that corner the adjacent and reference face meets. That aerys is very important because every measurement that you're going to take to lay out your joinery is going to come off of that aerys, everything. And there's some ways of doing it. If I run into one that's out of square, I'll show you how we correct it, how we can still lay out from this. So every measurement you take is going to come from here. Okay? So that is probably one of the most, it is the most important thing that you need to know when you're going to lay out joints. So the other thing you're looking for when you're laying out a beam, it's going to be the same as,
Ow, ow, Daddy, stop.
It's going to be the same as like what we did with our floor joist. You're looking for knot free if you can. You want to avoid grain shake. So when you're milling your logs up, make them a little longer. So say make them 2, 3, 4 feet longer. Because if you have a knot on this end that's going to jeopardize the structural integrity of that beam, you want to get rid of that knot. If you make them longer, you're going to have the leeway to get rid of that. So I am so distracted here I can't even do this right. Where's my rent check?
That's what your rent check is.
Wasn't the boy a lot nicer than this one? I think he was.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He fights with me all the time.
Fights with you
Threw
all
a
the
ball at me.
He probably deserved it.
No, I didn't. He's a liar.
Oh, I can't even do this with these kids. We've tried and we've tried. We've tried to give them away. I tried the pound. I tried the SPCA. She has all her shots, you know. I mean, we take her to the vet twice.
I don't go to the vet. I'm a human being.
She goes to the vet at least once a year to get up.
I don't go to the vet. I'm a human. Ow! 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 Ow!
All right, beat it.
No.
Okay, beat it so I can do this. Go on.
I'm gonna be split.
Maybe you're going to be... But she is going to be splitting wood. All right, guys. I'm sorry about this. This is, try not to keep this so goofy, but I work a lot. The kids don't get to see me a lot, so I'm not gonna turn the camera off and ignore the kids, you know. This is fun for them, too. They, all kids like attention. And if this is fun for them and I can make this special for them along with special for me and you guys, that's pretty important. So if you guys don't like kids, you're shit out of luck because kids are too much of a part of the life to not include them in this. So anyhow, let's get back to it now that we can because she's splitting wood. That's pretty cool, isn't it? An 8-year-old girl who likes to split wood. So anyhow, we're talking about the adjacent face, the reference face, the aerys. So when you're laying out, so what I do, and it could be wrong by some standards, everybody has their own method, but when I pick my reference face, I draw a triangle on the corner, and I darken that triangle in. That's what I choose to be my reference face. Hold on, honey. Now the adjacent face, I do a triangle that is not darkened in and point it to that triangle. That way I can note the aerys on the beam. I can note the spot that's most square to measure off of. And that's how I'm going to lay that out. Layout is so important on a timber frame, and it's really important on anything you're going to build, but it is really important on a timber frame. Like I said earlier, if you get this wrong, your joints are not going to line up the way you need them to, and you do not want to take all the time, effort, sweat, blood, tears, whatever it is you have. You don't want to take all that time and not have your joinery meet up. You want to make sure you take the time you need to take to make sure this stuff is accurate. It's like anything else. Anybody can do this. I can do this, you can do this. Well, I don't know about the master of disaster there, but probably in a couple of years she'll be able to. You never know. Anybody can do this kind of thing if you're willing to be patient enough to make sure it's right. It's no different. Fine carpentry is no different than a timber frame. Building a house is no different than a timber frame. It's maybe a different style of building, but it's all doable. You know, you could be the best woodworker on earth if you have a little patience. That's all it boils down to, the patience to do it right. That's what I try to teach my kids. That's what I try to keep in mind when I'm doing stuff. She's going to harass me some more, so anyhow, I better cut this one short because it's getting damn near impossible to work with Miss Yahoo here. And well, she's zipping it. Are you sure? Okay, she's sure. So, like I said, if you guys have the patience to do this stuff right, you can make beautiful things. Doesn't matter what it is you're working on. Anybody can do this. I'm telling you right now, anybody can do this. So, this is going to be it for this one. I just wanted to kind of show a little bit of, on a beam anyway, of how you're selecting your layout and things like that. The next time out, if I get some good weather tomorrow, I will actually show, I'll show laying this beam out itself. I'll show cutting it and see if we can finish it off. Anything you want to say to the people at home before we shut the camera off?
Nope, but this.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, Daddy, this hurts.
It does, doesn't it?
Daddy, my leg is stuck on a piece of wood.
Have a good night, guys. We'll catch you the next time, and maybe I'll have a little peace and quiet, but I doubt it. Friday night around here, well, every night around here is friggin' nuts, and it's usually
Especially when it's break. Especially on spring break.
Oh yeah, they're on spring break. Isn't that great? You know, why can't the schools take these kids year-round? You know how much more I would get done if they take these kids year-round? Where's my hat? It's over there. Why is my hat over there?
Because I threw it to give you a nugget.
You threw it to give me a nuggie. All right, guys. Have a good night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay.